On Christmas Eve, 1945, in the small town of Fayetteville, West Virginia, George and Jenny Sodder put their 9 children to bed, unaware it would be the last night their family was ever whole. The Sodders were a large, well-liked family. George ran a successful coal trucking business, and Jenny kept the house full of noise and laughter. That night, the younger children stayed up late playing with new toys. Around midnight, Jenny woke to a strange thump on the roof. She thought little of it and went back to sleep. Hours later, she woke again to the smell of smoke. The house was on fire. George and Jenny scrambled to get the children out. 4 of the 9 were rescued, but 5, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, aged between 5 and 14, were still inside. George broke a window, cutting himself badly, and ran for a ladder he kept propped against the house every night. It was gone. He tried to start his coal trucks, hoping to drive them close enough to climb onto the roof. Neither would start, despite running perfectly the day before. A neighbor tried to call the fire department. The line was dead. By the time firefighters arrived, hours later, the house had burned to the ground. The fire chief ruled it accidental, likely faulty wiring, and declared the 5 missing children dead, their remains reduced to ash. But George and Jenny never believed it. The fire had burned unusually hot and fast for a wood frame house, and in the wreckage there wasn't a single bone, tooth, or trace of the 5 children. Investigators later admitted the fire simply wasn't hot enough to have cremated bodies that thoroughly. Then the details piled up. Weeks earlier, a stranger selling life insurance had warned George that his house would go up in smoke, for his outspoken criticism of Mussolini's fascist government. Someone had been cutting the family's phone lines. And the fire truck took hours to arrive, despite the station being just miles away, because the crew claimed they couldn't find enough men to operate it. After the fire, sightings began. A woman at a tourist stop swore she'd seen the 5 missing children in a car that night, at the exact time the fire was reported. Another woman claimed she'd served them breakfast the next morning. Jenny later received an anonymous photograph